Enlightenment is the ability to see life with clarity, free from the distortions of fear, ego, and habitual reactions. It is not a supernatural state reserved for saints or mystics. Instead, it is a deep understanding of reality as it is. When someone is enlightened, they recognize the impermanent nature of all experiences, the interconnectedness of all beings, and the freedom that comes from letting go of unnecessary attachments. Many people imagine enlightenment as a dramatic moment of awakening, but in practice, it often unfolds quietly through simple insights. It can happen in ordinary situations, while commuting, working, caring for family, or dealing with personal challenges. The real question becomes, can a normal person reach enlightenment while living a modern life full of deadlines, responsibilities, and emotional pressure? The answer is yes, because enlightenment is not about escaping daily life, but transforming how we experience it. For example, imagine Hung stuck in traffic after a long day. The usual reaction might be frustration or impatience. But if Hung pauses, breathes, and notices the rising tension without letting it take over, that moment becomes a doorway to awareness. He is no longer controlled by irritation, but observing it. This simple act of seeing clearly is a seed of enlightenment. It shows that freedom begins inside, not in external conditions. Someone criticizes Hung unfairly. Before, the automatic response might be anger or defensiveness. But with awareness, Hung can notice the emotional surge, recognize that the words are only sounds shaped by someone else's state of mind, and choose a calmer, wiser reaction. Enlightenment expresses itself exactly in this kind of mindful choice, responding consciously instead of reacting blindly. Enlightenment also becomes visible in everyday joys. When Hung drinks morning coffee with full presence, feeling the warmth, noticing the aroma, savoring the moment, his mind rests in the present, instead of being lost in worries. This is not a mystical experience. It is simple awareness, but it nurtures clarity and inner peace. Over time, these small, mindful moments accumulate and reshape the way we live. Some think enlightenment requires retreats or monasteries, but its essence lies in observing the mind. Whether washing dishes, talking to coworkers, or solving problems, each moment becomes a chance to watch thoughts, emotions, and habits arise and fade. When Hung notices how quickly the mind jumps to judgments or fears, he gains insight into his own patterns. Seeing these patterns clearly weakens their power. This is the practical foundation of enlightenment. Daily life is actually the best training ground because it constantly reflects our inner world. When Hung feels stressed, he can observe how attachment to results creates pressure. When he feels joyful, he can notice how everything is temporary yet meaningful. When disagreements happen, he can practice listening deeply instead of trying to win. Every interaction becomes a lesson in awareness, compassion, and balance. Enlightenment is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming real, understanding the nature of thoughts, emotions, and experiences without being ruled by them. Someone enlightened still faces difficulties, but they meet them with stability and insight. They know suffering comes from resisting reality, while peace comes from understanding it. In relationships, enlightenment shows up through kindness and presence. When Hung fully listens to a friend without interrupting or judging, he is practicing a form of awakened living. When he forgives instead of holding grudges, he frees himself from unnecessary burdens. When he speaks honestly yet gently, he creates harmony instead of conflict. These are everyday expressions of inner clarity.